In this lesson, you'll get to build an app that helps restaurants organize their waitlist for guests as they show up. With the app, the waiter can add new guests to the waitlist as they walk in by typing in their name and the number of guests in the party. Once added, the name and the party size will appear in the list below in the order that they have been added. And when it's time to seat that group, they can be simply swiped off the list. We will be storing this guest list into an SQLite database by adding new guests as they show up and removing guests from the database by swiping them off the list. So that if the app was killed at any time, we certainly don't want to lose that precious list of guests. As we've done with earlier toy apps, we will be building this step by step as well. Each exercise completes an important part, and you will be gradually building up the app to its final stage. The first step is to create a special class known as the contract that will define the structure of our database and how the rest of the application sees it. Then, we'll create the actual database, specifying the table schema and the data types of each of the columns in the database. Once we get the database up and running, we will get to write queries to retrieve all the records stored in the database. And then the following step is to modify the adapter in the recycler view to display the list of guests that was retrieved from the database. And then finally, we'll get to write some slightly more complicated queries to add and remove guests in the database. Ready? Well, let's get started.